everyone. So, this is going to be a kind of standalone a vlog as part of the Scrap Happy series. Sorry, the rustling. Part of the Scrap Happy series, where I'm going to take you from start to finish of me making a scrappy garment. I am going to the East Anglia Yarn Festival in sometime in March. So I wanted to do one of the make-along designs, which are either, there's a granny stitch jumper, which is crochet, and the knitted is the love note, which is tin can knits. I've made one of these before. I have no idea where it is. I should have worn it really for this, shouldn't I? But I'll pop a photo of either me wearing it or it on Maud over there. But my plan is to both fit it into the make-along, so do the love note, and also fit it into my Scrap Happy challenge, and also for January's prompt, which is combine, by doing lots of minis and combining it with fluff. So yesterday, while Amelia was in the bath, which is why I didn't film it, I pulled out the three massive bags of 4-ply fingering weight mini skeins, and I pulled out all the blues and turquoises that I have, and then I put them in some sort of colour order. I then used my stitch holders. These are, stitch holders. I have these ones that kind of come apart at one end. I'm just going to put that there and then rescue that other mini skein in a minute. Or I have ones, it's buried at the bottom, it's ones that look like giant safety pins. So yeah. And I put them in some sort of order, and then I put them on the stitch holders in said order. I am now going to, that's my Swift, and my ball winder is down here. I am going to wind them up in the order that I want to make them in. I am going to cast on a love note. I'm giving myself 2.5 months to make this. I've made it before, it's a fairly swift make. I'm going to try, the one I made is quite cropped, so I'm going to try and do a longer length and without the high-low. I might still do the high-low hem. So I've done it before. I don't need to swatch because I'm using the same combination that I did, which is fingering weight plus a fluff. And I used alpaca fluff as opposed to mohair last time. I'm using alpaca fluff, same meterage. So I'm not going to swatch. I do have, I think I remember what needle size I use. I think I used what the pattern calls for. Mine came up quite big anyway. I think I got gauge in the swatch and then my gauge lied, so it came up bigger than I wanted it to anyway. So I'm going to go with the pattern needles, but I think I did stick to the pattern needles last time. If I remember correctly, it was a while ago, and I don't do Ravelry, so I can't go back and look. But we're going to do it. I haven't decided if I'm going to do it as the pattern states, which is do a provisional cast on and then do the lace and then go up to give yourself a more solid, because you're casting off at the neckline rather than casting on at the neckline. I haven't decided on that yet, or whether I'll just start at the neckline with a cast on. I actually prefer casting off. So I might actually just do as the pattern states, which is provisional cast on, do the lace, and then do the neckband. I've got a lot of this. This is Cumulus by Fibre Spates, which is a 74% Baby Suri alpaca, 26% mulberry silk in the colour Raindrop. It is 25 grams and 150 metres. Which is pretty standard for the kind of heavier lace weight. It is very fluffy, so I am not going to wind this up into, I don't know if that focused because it was over my face. I'm not going to wind this up, I'm just going to do it, use from the little flat balls that they come in, but I am going to wind first few. So that is neckline. That is going to be the start of the lace, and that is lace down. So we're going to start with that. I've got to find something to do a provisional cast on with. Okay, excuse the horrible lighting and the beige carpet. It is the 24th of January and I have been working on the lace. You see all my stitch markers to show each pattern repeat. So I think you can see that, yeah. So I've got 2 lace repeats, I believe. I need to read through the pattern again. But as I'm switching my needles from the, oh hello, you can't see that, the Luca indigos to Chow Gu, because the Licas are just holding on to the alpaca, and it's not fun and it's not smooth. So while I was switching them out and having a lot more cable length, I can show you how it's looking. But I'm loving looking at this. I apologise for the horrible lighting, but look at this mole. Oh, and then we got some turquoise coming in. So it's light blue, and there will be like kind of light blue grey in the neckline. But there's some turquoise coming through. And I love it so much. Right, that will be all. Hello, hello. With this camera, unlike my other camera, which is this, oh God, hang on. I don't know if I can, I'm gonna detach it. Oh, wobble. This is she has a lot of kit, folks. With this camera, which is also a Sony, which is my big kind of DSLR, not DSLR, it's like a mirrorless camera. The thing goes above, so it's quite easy for me to look at the lens and then look above. However, sorry, it's on my thing that attaches to my desk. Anyway. That one is very heavy, this one is not. This one, the screen is there. So I have to make a better effort to look at you, not at the screen. Anyway, hello. It is the, I don't know, 12th of February, and I started a new pancake yesterday. I've had quite a lot of meetings, training courses, conferences that I have been able to knit in. So I can show you some progress. Oh, good Lord, apparently I can't talk. I have finished the lace and I am one round away from, hang on, let's get you in frame, let's do it that way. I am one round away from, I think, sleeve separation. Which, I remember this from last time I made this this jumper, that I was like, no, I can't be at sleeves yet, and forgetting that I've got this provisional cast on, so I'm going to need to go up as well. Anyway, but yes. I've also, there's quite a harsh colour change, if you can see that there. Yeah. Not quite as, what's the word I'm looking for? Merge? No. Fade, as I wanted. But actually, what's quite nice is it's right at the, like, I literally put in the last, I think it was the last row of the lace is the colour change. So actually it's quite a nice delineation between the lace, which is pretty much all like this bright turquoise. And then, yeah. So yes, that is the update. It is the 12th of February. I have finished my mother's commission, so therefore this is now my only knitting project. I've also switched bags. For those who saw my January update, I'm in a Stitch by Mrs. D, so you can hear all of the one of the stitch markers that I took off yesterday, having finished the lace. Yeah, Stitch by Mrs. D, little kind of light denim bag. So, yes, that is the update. We'll see when I start doing the giant sock that is the body. That'll be fun. I'll give you an update then. Progress update. We have moved into a bigger bag. This is, I believe, a Fibre Fox merino dyed bag. It's catching the thing pretty nicely. And this is our progress. Now, there's actually quite a big colour change between these two yarns, but I'm not hating it because of where it sits. It sits just under the lace. We have split for the sleeves. The sleeves are being held on tiny Chalgu, what's the word? Cables. These are not what the cables that they will be knitted with. I have some higher short circulars that I'll be using, but these, I like having it on cables because then you can literally just chuck a needle onto one end and then knit off of it. And we are through a few, I don't know how many is that, 10 rows under the sleeves. Trucking away nicely. I have finished one ball of the fluff. I am onto, actually I'm quite a good way into the second ball of fluff. The fluff is how I'm going to be measuring my meterage, because obviously the same meterage of fluff will be going into this, so then I can double it in theory. Obviously I still have, and I will need to pick up the neckband, but I'll do that once I'm done with the body. I'm going to do the longer length, but yeah, really happy with it so far. So today is the 20th of February, which means I have, oh, I don't even know, hang on a minute, I'm going to work out how long I've got. Okay, I have 4 weeks until I am on so it's Friday the 20th, I will be on a train by this point. So I've got 4 weeks. Yeah. I might have to stop every other crafting project. The cross stitch might have to be put on hold. I'm already like 10 days behind on it. Eek! Okay. It is still the 20th of February, but I've picked up the neckband. So yeah, there's my little white cotton that was holding the stitches. They are now, the body is on, has got stoppers at the end of the cable. I found another cable. I have quite a lot in my Chalgu set. So I'm about to do the neckband, because I had a thought after I talked to you, my thought was, if I do all the complicated bits now, then I can do all the easy bits as I get closer to deadline. So I'll be back momentarily, in an hour or so, hopefully, when I finish the neckband. Okay, we're in the bathroom. I've put try-it-on. I've put try-it-on tubing. That neckline's too small. So I am going to go back, but can I just say, I love the colour change even more. That's ridiculous, isn't it? But yes. Yeah, the neckline has to be frogged and started again. Why are you not focusing on the gorgeousness? But no, I'm really pleased with how it's going down, because the sleeves are so small. I haven't. But yeah, I'm really happy with how it's looking so far. Obviously, this will block out, but no, I'm probably gonna decrease. So for my size, you basically decrease from like 100 and something stitches to 66, which just feels, I don't know if you can see, oh hang on, the light's in the way. I also twisted the knit, and I don't think I'm going to do that in the next iteration. So less decreases, no twisted stitches. I've done Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind off, which I like, so that's fine. I did think about doing tubular, but so much work. Right, onwards. Much better. So I didn't get rid of the decreases, but I did. So this is done on a 6mm, this was done on a 5.5. I only did 4 rows of ribbing as opposed to how many the pattern says. And then again, Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind off with that 5.5mm needle. And that feels much more comfortable. It will grow with blocking as well, but yes, we like a slightly wider neckline here, folks. Why are we not? Why are we not focusing? We don't want to see me, we want to see the jumper. Yay, neckband done. Now, do I start on the sleeves to get them out of the way? I don't think so actually, because they're just basically socks as well. So let's keep going with the body. Love it! We tried. We tried to do something with the hair, and it's not. I've just been watching on my iPad. I wanted to give you an update. It is currently, oh god, what date is it? It's the 28th of February. It's the last day of February. Hello. You alright?
Yeah.
Okay. I am on to the second sleeve, except I've just done almost a whole round without holding the mohair. So I'm going to have to unpick that. But yes, getting like 20 rows into the second sleeve, of which the main knitting is 65 rows for mine anyway, and then cuff, bind off, and then we're just going to carry on with the body until I think it's long enough, and then do the short rows for the high-low back, and then done. I am in full-on work mode because I'm working from home today, but I was working from home today because I was on an online conference-y thing. Symposium is what it was called. However, because I've been online and therefore I've been able to sit and knit one sleeve, two sleeves. I am now, the needles are back on the body. I'm now, hang on. I am just under boob. Shall we actually properly measure? Hang on. Let me get a thing. I need to be 8.5 inches below underarm. I am currently, let's show you what, I don't know what I just did. Oh, I knocked my bin over. I am currently, and obviously there is weight behind this, 5 inches. So I've got, let's say 5.5. I'm 5.5 inches below underarm. So I've got another 3 inches to go, which isn't actually that many. And I think an inch is, let me look at the pattern because I am on gauge, row gauge. I'm not on stitch gauge, but it's fine because it's oversized. Or it will be oversized. But blocking changes everything, doesn't it? Right. How am I at 21% on my phone already? It's because I've been using my knit companion. So my row gauge is 6 stitches for the inch. 6 rows per inch. Yes, because 24 rows rounds in 4 inches. Maths. We do it well. So yes, I am, which does mean actually because I'm on unblocked row gauge, when I do block it, it will stretch, which is fine because I don't mind it longer because I am going for the longer length, not the cropped. So it's upside down, but I'm so happy with the sleeves. They look so cool. Right, it is, oh, I should give you the date, shouldn't I? It is Wednesday the 4th of March. EOAF is in 15 days? Hang on. 16 days. Technically 17 days, but I will be travelling in 16 days. We're going to get it done this week. We're going to get it done this week. Okay, it is I actually don't know what, 7th of March. I am on the short rows. I have just run out of number donut 4. So this is donut 5. But I'm on the short rows, therefore this all won't be used. Woohoo! I have started the bind off. However, my hands are hurting. So we're going to finish tomorrow. But I am very happy with this. Okay. We are bound off, ends woven in. What I've done is actually kept some of the ends, I don't know if you can see, long-ish, because when further up I cut a few short and they were poking through, so the ones down the bottom I've kept long-ish. That is the back. So let's hang on. So we have a finished garment. I'm going to weigh this now. Okay, I've put you looking down. So this is where it ends. I'm wearing a black jumper. So this is where it ends currently. I'm hoping it grows a little bit down to here, so it's at my kind of where it would nice to be belly button length, which is here. We've got, you can see the kind of high-low hem. We've got the sleeves. You've got the lace here, which definitely will need to sit and relax a bit. Yeah, so this is pre-blocking. And we're going to go and give it a bath. Hello, welcome to my creaky bathroom. I am about to get that out of the water and I will show you what I do when I'm blocking anything really, but mostly garments because of their shape. Yes, I'm going to, you're on my tiny tripod right now, so I'm going to set you up on the floor and I'll show you what I do. So basically what I do, I'll get it out of the water, I'll squeeze out the excess moisture from the garment, and then I use a couple of old towels to squeeze all the kind of as much moisture out as possible without kind of felting it. So I will show you the fun way I get Amelia involved, my daughter. Okay, we are in terrible light, but I've only pinned the top because I'm going to put this up against the bed in my craft room. I'm currently in my bedroom because it's got decent floor space. But yeah, it's pinned out the way I want it to, and then I'm going to let gravity block it the way it would hang off my body, basically. Right, I will see you when it's time to put this on. Yay! Okay, I'm about to take this off. So the last time you saw it, so it is currently Saturday the 15th of March, I believe. Last time you saw this, it was on blocky mats. Please excuse the absolute tip that is my craft room. I decided, once it had a kind of initial dry, that I would move it onto my sweater blocker. This thing is brilliant. The kind of community making space that I volunteer at every week had this come in, so I got it for an absolute steal. But it's basically a wooden frame that has 2 horizontal poles, the kind of two vertical poles coming out of a horizontal kind of base, and then a very long horizontal arm that can expand. So those kind of knobs on the top help to expand it and what's the opposite expand? Retract. So I thought I'd show you it on the sweater blocker, and now I'm going to take it off and show you what it looks like on. Finished! Woohoo! Okay, I'm kind of wearing an outfit I would be wearing with it. So I'm wearing a dark blue vest top underneath, but I'd probably be wearing something that's a bit more flesh toned. But do you know, I might have to bring you down so you don't see my face and see my body. Hang on. Whoop. Okay, there's not a lot of manoeuvring room. So here we go. So I'm wearing jeans tucked with a vest top, a navy vest top tucked in. These are likely the jeans I'll be wearing with this, or my black jeans. But it hits literally like the bottom of the belt loops, which is exactly what I wanted. You've got a little bit of a scoop working really well. There is quite a lot of ease, but it is sucking in, which is exactly what I wanted. The underarms are kind of, there's about that much, which again, really happy. I'm really happy with the neckline. I like things to sit underneath my collarbones so that it doesn't feel like I'm getting strangled. So this is perfect. That is one of the modifications I made because I did it with bigger needles. I feel like I need to kind of look at you. I did it with bigger needles and a stretchy bind off. So all of the bind offs, was that Jenny stretchy? I can't remember what the, no, it was all of the bind offs on the arms, the neckband and the bottom rib are Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind off. The arms and the bottom rib were done on the recommended needle sizes. So I used the recommended needle sizes, so I used a 6mm for the main body, the main knitting, and then I used a, well, not on this bit, that was a 5.5, this is a 4.5, which is recommended in the pattern. I haven't checked gauge. I will in a minute. I don't think I met gauge. Normally I have to go down one size for tin can knits, but because this is such a loose, do I need to go down? No, I need to go down. I need to go up usually. I usually go up half. So I usually go from, so they suggest 6mm, I usually go up to 6.5, say. But because the size that I did, which is, was it a large or was it an LXL? I can't remember, but the size that I did had slightly more ease than I wanted in it. So actually, by sticking to the original needle size, my gauge should, we'll measure it in a minute, should be slightly smaller than the recommended gauge, and therefore I got my kind of less positive ease. But I am so happy with how this fits. The fact that it kind of hits me right at where my jeans waistband is very, makes me happy. I think these, I love these jeans, they're from Next, they're stretchy and boot cut. They're kind of exactly what I like about jeans. Not sponsored. I also have some black jeans from 7 For All Mankind, which are again stretch boot cut, and I love them. And then waistband comes to, yeah, it's about the same. But I would always have this with a vest top underneath anyway. This is longer than my old one, my other Love Note, which, shall I go and get it? Wait one. So this is my other Love Note, which I have shrunk, or I felted actually, because I put it in the washing machine on a delicate cycle, but it didn't obviously like it very much. So it still fits, but every so often I just have to like tug, just to, because I find matted bits, and that's fine. So this has actually shrunk a little bit. But with this one, the neckband, even though it looks like it's not, it is, it's a lot tighter. I do love the grubby pink though. Am I showing you the back or the front? Hang on. I'm showing you the back. So yes, these are my two. This is a lesson in what marling yarns can do. So the 4-ply yarn that this is made in is a very delicate light pink, and then I added this kind of grubby, it just stopped then. Anyway, I was saying it has pink in it, but it's also got blues and some browns, and it's just fab. But yeah, this is very much a lesson in what marling can do to, sorry, it's been scrumpled on my chair, what marling can do to the overall colour. And I still love this. It's one of my most worn things. It has the 3/4 length sleeves. So I will be taking both of these to EOF. I will be wearing one on day 1, this one, and I will be wearing this on day 2. Because let's get 2 ribbons, shall we? I don't know, no. What I do need to do, and I will do now, and that'll be the final finish thing that I'll do, and both of them, because I don't have it on this one either, I'm going to be putting a label in the back so that I don't have to stand every single time and go, right, let's match the neckline up so we can work out what's the longer bit at the bottom so we can work out what's the front. So that's what I'm going to do now, and then it will be finished. So thank you very much for coming along on this vlog of making. One of my lovely friends has also done a vlog about making her Love Note, and that is Maddie, who is, oh god, is she House of Langford on YouTube? I will pop her video up in a card, and also link her down below in the description. Also in the description I will link my Ravelry project pages, where I have detailed exactly all the different modifications that I've made as part of making this second one, based on what I knew about this one, and also, like, I made this, oh god, probably about when it came out, so like within 12 months of it coming out. So I'll pop it on the screen when I think I made this. And obviously I have knitted far more. Hang on. Let's just put you up, rather than me coming down to you, why don't I bring you to me. Anyway, I have knitted far more. I have learnt far more about garment construction. I've learnt far more about different tips and tricks as a knitter between making this and making this. So actually there's been all sorts of different bits that I've made. I kind of tweaked because I know how to make for my body size, how I knit as well, and like which short row options I like, because I use Japanese short rows for the first time on this and I like them so much better than German short rows or wrap and turn. They're a bit more fiddly, but I much prefer them. I think they've given a much neater short row end and beginning. So yes, I'm going to put labels in these and then I'm done. And I will show you that just as a little outro bit. But other than that, thank you very much for coming along on this making journey with me. I have not worked on this all the time. I have not been monogamous on it, and I started it in January and I finished the knitting anyway in early March. So this is a really nice project, A, to hold your hand, because Tin Can Knits are amazing pattern writers, but also it's a really quick make because you've got large needles and you're holding yarns double. If you don't particularly like fluff, if it's not a good thing against your skin, and I must admit I have princess skin, so this might not stay on the whole day, but you can also make this in just a straight DK. So yes, I'm going to stop wobbling, and for those of you who will be at East Anglia Yarn Festival, I will see you there in this jumper!